everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Cover to Cover. You're here with Mo.
And Andrea.
And Morgan.
All right. So today we want to talk to you about tabletop books that are out just in time for the holidays, Chris Colfer's new project, Bookish Vandalism, and what's next for Netflix. But first, if your dream is to own a bookstore, you're in luck.
Entrepreneur Kevin Coolidge and his wife have been the proud owners of a bookstore, My Shelf Books and Gifts, in Wellsboro, Pennsylvania since 2006. Coolidge has become a successful author with his The Totally Ninja Raccoon series, and the couple has decided to move on to the next phase in their lives.
Not wanting to abandon their community, they have decided to give away the bookstore to some lucky winner. It could be you, and all you have to do is enter their essay contest for $75. That's the cost to enter. And if 4,000 people enter, they will take the entry money and give it to the winner along with the keys to the bookstore. So, who's entering?
I don't know. I feel so torn about it because obviously if you win, you would have to move there and run this bookstore. So that's a lot to think about. But if you're in a place in your life where you have a little room to grow and move, you should totally do this.
I think either way you should support because they have to get to that 4,000.
That's true. That's a good point.
So
They
I mean,
have to get the 4,000. Okay.
yeah. So I guess the way that it works, right, is you get to the 4,000 and it's because everyone's putting in $75 into this pool, right? So it kind of helps the bookstore run for 6 months with the new owner to kind of float it for a little bit. But
so you can get your footing and learn how to be a good business owner.
So you not only get the business, but you get some capital to run it with.
Yes, which is so smart because,
Yes.
it's probably detrimental to hand over such a big thing to somebody who maybe isn't equipped to do it immediately. But what a cool concept, right?
And you can totally enter the essay and then be like, I vote Andrea to get the bookstore.
Put in your vote.
Do you know what the essay is about?
Yes. So the topic for the essay is why a bookstore is important to a community. So I think they wanted 200 to 500 words just on that, which is, of course, an easy thing to talk about because we love bookstores.
So Kevin is an author on our platform, GoRead.com. We're going to put a link to his page on there in the show notes. So you're going to have to check it out. He is an author himself and has some really good content on his page. And
Yeah, he's always writing.
He publishes a lot of really great articles that when we have top 5s that come out every week, he's always in there.
Yeah, and I'm excited. They seem like such a cool couple, so I'm excited to see more about their lives and how this all works out.
Yeah, so definitely go fan him on GoRead and check out all of his works. And the deadline for that essay is March 31st, 2018. Yeah, so you have some time to figure that out.
Postmarked by that day.
Yeah, so $75, guys. Worth it. Well, I'm not sure if this book will make it to the shelves of My Shelf Books and Gifts, but there is a tabletop book coming out for the holiday season commemorating an Austin, Texas legend.
Oh.
El Arroyo is a Tex-Mex restaurant in Austin famous for its sign out front with rotating slogans and notes for the day. This year, you will now be able to purchase a book recapping some of the most memorable snaps of that sign. So are you guys familiar with it?
I am. I followed El Arroyo's sign on Facebook before I even lived in Austin. So this was a thing I was aware of before I came here. And I feel like it's its own celebrity, even though it's just a sign.
Yeah, you guys want to check it out. I think it's also on Instagram.
Yeah, and they do the best slogans every day. So it's always changing. Some of my favorites were from this year. Shout out to ATMs for making me buy my own money. That's just truth. The other one, use promo code Netflix to get 50% off your social life. So they're just out there dropping truth bombs, making you smile every day.
Yeah, throwing shade. If you appreciate some good shade, I would definitely follow this account.
So I was not aware of this restaurant or their signs before, but I went and looked up on Facebook, and so today's quote actually speaks to me. It was life without queso. Then what did it say? JK.
JK. Which is not a reality.
You are a huge queso fan.
I eat queso all the time. I love it. That's what I'm known for.
So
or
good.
any kind of cheese. So yeah.
Yeah, so definitely check out that tabletop book and follow their Facebook. Check them out on Instagram. It's just a great thing to make you smile.
Yeah.
Well, other books that we can look forward to for the coming years will be brought to YA and young reader shelves by actor and writer Chris Colfer.
Chris Colfer is well known for his role on the TV show Glee as Kurt and for his popular book series The Land of Stories, which has spent 48 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. Colfer has now signed a multifaceted book deal with Little Brown Books for young readers, so we can all look forward to more.
So we've talked about The Land of Stories before because Chris Colfer is one of those people who's really talented in a lot of different fields.
Not even fair.
So we're like really jealous that he was able to make that crossover and now be a successful author or whatever, 48 week on New York Times bestseller list.
At age 27, like he's so
It's
accomplished.
insane. So really we're just jealous of him, but we're excited for his new endeavors.
Yeah.
So I haven't read The Land of Stories because it's a little bit, it's less than YA. It's like 7 to 12, like for young readers. But it's a great thing for you to buy for your kids or the young readers in your life. And hopefully he'll be writing, you know, a little more progressively with age groups.
Maybe actually as he grows up himself,
Oh, maybe.
he'll write some stuff for us too.
I know, I can't tell if I love him or hate him. Like, I might just hate
Both.
his book. And
Yeah.
be like, I hate you, you're so successful, but I'm going to read this.
Same. Well, let's hope fans of Colfer's books live responsibly as they should, which is, of course, what we expect from Harry Potter fans, a few of which have let us down recently.
Fans of the Harry Potter franchise are not ones to stay silent about their love of all things Potter. Normally this falls under the spectrum of awesome, but a few fans have let us down when they defaced a 4,000-year-old monolith in Spain.
All right, guys. So the Potterhead spray painted the Deathly Hallows symbol along with the quote "always" onto the stone, located on private property. I think we're all pretty disappointed about this. So, guys, come on, let's do
Yeah.
better in the future.
It's really like the best example of like, this is why we can't have nice things. Like, why would you do that, right? Like, why?
I think it's hard to even call them fans, you know, to just do
Because they
something
make
so-
everyone else look bad.
They make
Yeah.
us look bad. And it's just like, we know, like, you love Harry Potter, because everyone, obviously, but it was just unnecessary trespassing and, like, defacing of this, like, beautiful monument. So, it's just, like, a lot to handle right now, you know? Not happy about this.
I can't take it.
So, try harder next time, guys.
Yes. Well, right now, guys, we're going to take a quick break and take a moment to do an author spotlight on an author that we love, Barbara Kingsolver. So let's check it out now.
With a name that belongs in the Game of Thrones world, Barbara Kingsolver of House Appalachia, mother of Homestead, lover of culture, is an amazing writer who has been gracing bookshelves since 1988. She has written 14 books, raised 2 children, and has received numerous awards. She's taken us along the roads of Arizona, through the Appalachian Mountains, and down into the cenotes of Mexico. And I think Barbara Kingsolver is one of the greatest writers of our time, and this is why I have chosen her to be our inaugural author spotlight. All right, so if you've never heard of her, where should you start? The internet would probably recommend to you one of her most well-known works, which is the Poisonwood Bible, but let me take you off the beaten path for a moment here with my top 3 suggested reads, the sampler platter, if you will. Okay, so my number 3 pick is Animal Vegetable Miracle. If you're into nonfiction, journaling, cookbooks, or the homestead lifestyle, or even if you're like, what are all of those words? Then Animal Vegetable Miracle is probably for you. This book chronicles a year in the life of the Kingsolver family as they move out of the city to live off-grid for the very first time in their lives on a homestead adventure. Lots of tears, laughs, and life lessons along the way, not to mention lots of great recipes. So check that out. My number 2 pick is for the art historian, lover of adventure, seeker of sun, The Lacuna. The Lacuna chronicles a young man torn between 2 cultures, the America of his youth and the Mexico of his formative years, where he meets and works with the very mysterious Diego Rivera and Frida Kahlo. History and public opinion are rivals in this coming-of-age tale. And for my number 1 pick, I have chosen one of my very favorite books, Prodigal Summer. This story is told by an interweaving narrative of 3 people living in southern Appalachia. And over the course of one summer, the characters in this story find themselves interconnected through the flora and fauna that's all around them. This story marks the importance of balance in life and in nature, and just how easily upset that balance can become. This is a beautiful book. I recommend it to everyone. And to quote Barbara Kingsolver herself, your dreams, what you hope for and all of that, it's not separate from your life. It grows right up out of it. So do yourself a favor and enrich your life by inviting one of these amazing novels in. And long live the king solver.
Let us know in the comments what your favorite Barbara Kingsolver book is.
And let us know if there's any one that you would like to see adapted for the screen.
Speaking of adaptations, Netflix has not been shy about its quest for that. They've certainly been seeking rights to popular literature to generate this content, but now they're looking in another new direction.
Netflix has announced that it will be creating comic books to test new content. The streaming service has acquired the Scottish comic book publishers Miller World, which has churned out stories set for screen adaptations in the past, such as Kingsman and Old Man Logan. Comic book creators such as Miller are creating stories with the screen in mind, and they are currently working on a title set for the spring of 2018 called The Magic Order. I guess we'll have to look to Netflix to see if this one gets a swift adaptation.
So I have no concept of what The Magic Order is about, but immediately it's already on my TBR list because it definitely sounds like something up my alley.
Absolutely. It's really cool to see that they're like churning things out for like with the screen in mind. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I don't know how to feel because it's like I want you to write like normally, like the great way we've been writing forever.
No, come on. Every author now is thinking about it.
I mean, you got to financially because that's, you know, that's where the money's at because a lot of authors have to have a second job even if they're successful authors. So like definitely if you could get it made into a movie, maybe you could quit your day job. So I understand where they're coming from for sure. So I don't know. I guess it's working or whatever.
Yeah, it gets readers excited.
Yeah.
Well, let us know in the comments what you think about this Netflix situation.
And don't forget to interact with our content on Facebook so we can bring you more literary news that you care about.
And thank you for joining us today. I'm Mo.
I'm Andrea.
I'm Morgan.
And we'll definitely be back on Friday. So until then, keep reading, writing, and being awesome. I know we will. Bye.